All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word, truth, sincerity. This is the brothers from Great Millstone Tampa. I'm the brother Ash. And then we're just doing a quick in-transit video, Lord's will is edifying. But, we're just going to go into the famine of the word. We had this situation with YouTube crashing. People were freaking out. So at that time you couldn't watch the prophets of the Lord. So unless you were out there speaking, it was a famine of the word for however hour long or whatever. But it's gonna come a time where it's gonna be permanent. So go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 8, start at verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Shai. And so, again, what happens is, when people are being told a judgment, because the Lord sends his prophets, it was going a little bit earlier, and that's a spiritual, because the lesson we were just previously doing, it got cut off, and the lesson we're going into, the spirit is the famine of the word, so, the famine of the word is actually the words that you need to hear in these times we're coming into, because this is what we've been warning you about, so going into this water, you should be drinking this water, you should never thirst again, eating of this bread, you should never hunger again, but people in this world are not going to have answers. They're not going to be comforted. That's why when the YouTube went off, people always freak out and panic. But that's just giving you a preview of what's going to happen when the Lord really removes us from these corners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the true food, right? The true substance, all right, is the word, all right. Yahushua said, "Drink of this water, you shall never thirst." So these the words are considered water, food, all right, bread, oil, wine, the wisdom. So these are, and the scripture tell you the things that are necessary for life. Rough paraphrasing the Apocrypha, it tells you what: water, bread, oil, wine. So the word is considered all those things.
A house.
Yep. Yep. So and this is what is the truth comes with the name of the Lord. And that's a strong tower in the day of trouble, man. So you gonna, if you don't have this, you're gonna starve. You're gonna be left out there to spiritually starve to death, and then you're gonna die in reality. Go ahead, though.
This is Amos 8 and 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh Shai, shall not find it. So if you really think about it, the only thing holding society together, of course, is prophecy, but the Lord's prophets. Because when we're taking off the corners, that's what means all hell's broken loose. Jeremiah 28:8 tells you we prophesy, evil, pestilence, against many great kingdoms.
And that's why the people would, in days old, they would inquire of the prophet if he was coming in peace or not, because they understood. Oh shit, you only see the prophets when they need to prophesy. Other than that, they just chilling, doing their own thing. When they come to the city, oh shit, here we go. But now, I forgot what precept it is. It says that somewhere in the Apocrypha, I believe, Ezra's, but it says damn, how's it go? You won't see the prophets no more, something like that, or prophets. Damn, how's it go? Pretty much it goes into that the prophets aren't recognized anymore. They just look at us like Joe Schmo, just random guys on the corners. But that's part of falling away too, because our people, they always knew about the prophets. The kings would go to the prophets. That's how it works. To inquire of the Lord, when the scripture talk about such and such, when they inquire of the Lord, they didn't go to the Most High. They have a sit down with a meeting. They went to the prophets. That's how you inquire of the Lord. So right now, the Lord send out his messengers so that you may inquire and return to him or die. It's that simple. It's very simple what we're preaching, man. It's either repent or die. And obviously there's more to it, but that's the bottom line. That's the least common denominator, so to say. Break it down all the way. But go ahead.
Amos chapter 8 verse 13. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. They're going to be dehydrated, because we're going to go into salt waters, because they're not going to be given really what's going on in the world, because again, we're going to go into the confusion, so they're going to be thirsty, be hungry, because they don't have answers, so when your mind's not comforted, that's why it goes into your being unstable, so Isaiah 33:6 is always being quoted, because that's going to be our stability, the wisdom and the knowledge, but these people are not going to have that. But here, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 5, and start at verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places.
And that's what you have going around the world right now, man. Confusion, nothing but confusion. All right, and amongst this truth as well, or those that know they're Israel, all right, there's some teaching confusion. Oh, the mark of the beast is not the RFID, it's Christianity. That's confusion, man. You know, and then there's confusion among, you know, the things of this world. You know, the election confusion, all right, homosexuality confusion. You know, the list goes on and on. And then when the shit starts hitting the fan, where the sedition and chaos erupts in the streets, that's gonna be confusion, man. Go ahead.
So 2nd Esdras chapter 5 verse 8, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again.
And that's what you see going around, man. The fires is what? The riots, the wars, the pestilences, the famines, all right? All these things that are taking place around the world, literal fires, earthquakes, you know, and they're being said often right now, man. So that's how you know the Lord is on his way back, because the contractions, you know, the birth pains are getting closer and closer, man. The prophecies are coming back to back. You know, go ahead.
It says, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
Yeah, and that's what you got right now, man. All these young little nigglets and spics and shit. Those are monsters, man. You know, anybody under the age of 30 that's not in this truth, they're 100%. Shit, I say under 40, really. Well, shit, really everybody. But you know, these young cats they're a bunch of monsters, man.
And it's that generation Yahushua was talking about.
And the wicked and adulterous generation, man. That same generation that was on the scene when he was here.
This is what right now we're considered in Generation Z. And Z is the last letter of the alphabet. You know? This is 2nd Esdras chapter 5 and verse 9. And salt water shall be found in the sweet. And you know, the salt water is going into pretty much the confusion. That's where that comes from. You know, a mixture of truth and lies, so you can't decipher which is which. You know, so again, going into, you know, prophecies which we're hopping on, going to the RFID microchip was being made mandatory. People are saying it's like you're saying Christianity. You know, these are examples that people are telling our people, which is causing confusion. That's the salt water.
So when that time comes, you know, to look for the truth, and you know, that famine of the word hits, yeah, you're gonna find some people, all right. You're gonna find the complete morons, the nincompoops that are teaching bullshit, you know, and then you're gonna be led to the slaughter, unless you be part of the 1/3, you know, and the Lord has mercy on you, and you do find a man of the Lord. But it ain't looking too good for the majority of our people.
You're gonna run to those, you know, those deep space, you know, bug outs, you know, those
flat earthers and shit. They know they're Israelites. They're gonna tell you Israelite, but then they're gonna tell you, oh yeah, the chip, you know, the chip ain't the mark of the beast. You can go ahead and take it, and then that's it. You just seal the deal.
2nd Esdras 5 and verse 9. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and our friends shall destroy one another.
Because they, you know, people are gonna lose it. Like the scripture say in Matthew, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. So you know, and really, a lot of people ain't gonna be looking for the truth either. You know, so they're gonna be worried about surviving. You know, there's gonna be so much chaos that, you know, that might not even be on your mind in that day. But what it's gonna, before that, all that happens, you know, and YouTube gets shut down, and they start shutting down all these different avenues for you to get the truth. Cause shit, the truth is on every social media, so to say. Like I'm sure if you go on Twitter, you're gonna see some shit about that. You're gonna see something about the Israelites. You go on Facebook, you're gonna see something about the Israelites. You go on World Star, you're gonna see the Israelites. So every YouTube, you know, social media sites, video sites, whatever, you got the prophets of the Lord on there somewhere. Whether they're making mockery of us or not, hey, you've been warned. You know, so you're not gonna have an excuse.
It says, then shall wit hide itself.
And that's this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. It's gonna be hiding itself, because the Lord's gonna remove, all right, himself. You know, that's why scripture say, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, because he gonna hide himself, man. And you're not gonna be able to just easily find him. All right.
It says in Proverbs, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. You know, so it's gonna be hidden. It says, then shall wit hide itself, in understanding itself. And understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. Verse 10. And shall be sought of many, and yet not found.
That's His truth, man. The secret place of the Most High. All right, that's His truth, man. That's how we gonna be hidden. Because what? Us having His truth and fearing the Lord's gonna protect us. He's gonna set a hedge of protection around us. And if the Lord don't want you to get it, then you ain't gonna get it. You know, you ain't gonna find us. You know, to inquire of the Lord. You know, in that day. Because just because YouTube is down, don't mean that our job is done. You know, we still gonna be doing miracles and all kind of manner of things. But we ain't gonna be out there. Lord, it's time. Saturday, it's time for camp. Nah, man, we're gonna be as pilgrims on the earth. Go ahead.
2 Peter chapter 5, verse 10. It shall be sought of many, and yet not be found.
Yeah, many. See, a lot of people gonna die, and a lot of people will try to actually look for the truth and seek some answers. Man, what was that? They was calling us some name and telling this was gonna happen. But look, you're not gonna find us now. It's too late. You should have took heed when you had the chance. But you wanted to continue in your folly, well, you're gonna die in your folly. You're gonna die in your iniquity, your unbelief.
Continuing, it says, then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon earth.
And so when you see the prophets of the Lord gone, you don't see them out there on the corners no more. You don't see them no more video. You can't find them on the internet no more. Except for the demonization, of course. They're gonna try to do that. But that's when the shit's gonna get crazy, man. Like brother was saying earlier, we're the only ones holding things together, man. Once you see us, well, the Lord's doing it for our sakes, holding things together from just completely exploding, erupting into utter chaos. But once we are off them corners, man, that's what's coming. That's the next step. Straight up chaos, evils everywhere. What else it say?
Incontinency shall grow upon earth. Want me to keep reading on that, or?
Oh, that was it.
So I'll get this is 2 Peter chapter 2. I'll start at verse 5. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. And spared not the old world. I'm probably gonna read it up. Yeah, it's 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 4. For if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness,
which is the elect, right? The ones that are the chains of darkness are these bodies, right? And the hell is this hell we living in, right? This current kingdom, Esau's kingdom. This is his heaven or hell. Go ahead.
Yep, it says to be reserved unto judgment. Verse 5: and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. Yep. Brothers going into, we're manifesting the words of Yahweh Shai. So by the preaching, it's how this is all coming to pass. Of course, the Lord is the one doing all the works, but in His name, that's why we're here. Yep. So Noah was preaching for 100 and so odd years, and that's what brought the flood. So again, pretty much the prophets is the only thing stopping this all hell from breaking loose. But when they're removed again, all hell's gonna break loose.
Yeah. Just like you said, Noah, was preaching for all 120 years, and so the Lord was holding the waters back. All right, and then once He was done building the ark, He prophesied, He did what He had to do. Then that sudden wrath came, and then you couldn't do. There was nothing that they could do. All the people that was off the ark, man, they couldn't do anything. But I'm sure when they started seeing water coming from the sky and water gushing from the earth, I'm sure they were looking for Noah. Man, let's find Noah. Where he at, man? Man, he was at building. Where that dude building that big ass boat? And now it wasn't too funny, And I'm sure they were mocking him and all kind of things. But look, who's the one that got delivered? The one that did what the Lord said. All right, and then when it started raining, all right, and water coming out of the earth, they couldn't find the Lord. It was a famine after that, because He was prophesying, telling them for hundreds of years, 100 years plus. Then the Lord, all right, that's it. You gave Him the warning, got the blood off your hands. Now, hey, no more word. No more now it's the famine of the word. They weren't hearing Him prophesying when it was raining. And that's the same thing that's gonna happen when it starts raining judgment down upon you people. All right, you're not gonna hear us anymore, man. Go ahead, number 9.
Yeah, I got a point. This is 1 Peter chapter 3. I'm gonna start at 18, but the point is 20. It says 1 Peter 3. long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah while the ark was preparing. So the ark was being prepared, that's why the Lord was long suffering. So going to now making a parallel, because how should I say, and the same shall be as the Son of Man as the days of Noah. So right now we're spiritually preparing the ark. So the long suffering is pretty much waking up the elect.
And just like Revelation chapter 7 says, that the angels are holding back the winds, so the elect are fully sealed.
That's it.
And from what's going on in the world, they might very well be sealed already. Now the things, because the things that are happening now weren't happening years ago, man. All the prophecies we've been talking about, they happening right in your face. Mark of the beast is clear, is right out there in your face. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'll finish it.
We can finish off on that too.
All right, this is 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 20, which sometime were disobedient when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah while the ark was preparing, wherein few, that is, 8 souls were saved by water.
Oh. What 8? What's it 8 mean again? I forgot.
8 means glory.
Glory, kind of. Yep. There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because now this time is gonna be by fire. So those being few, is gonna be the elect. The elect's gonna be saved. Those few saved from this fire is gonna happen upon the planet Earth. Going to specifically talking about so-called America, these thermonuclear missiles. So right now the Lord's long suffering because again he has to seal the servants. So once the servants are sealed, then there's nothing saving this place. It's impending doom. That's the time we're coming into, as you can see, if you're measuring, right?
You go down.
So with that, those words be edifying. Those words want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings of the whole collective Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.